That's basically the difference between PhytoSmart and the rest of that $55 billion industry.
So that's your epiphany, and that's really your moat that makes you different, right? That's
Exactly.
from the other players out there. I'm president of consumer products at the combined Solana and PhytoSmart platform, the only vertically integrated wholesale algae omega-3 company in the world, holding patented production technology for both DHA and EPA strains. 7 active pet supplement SKUs already selling through Amazon and specialty retail. The 2024 Overall Pet Innovation Award for Healthcare Innovator of the Year. And a go-to-market roadmap that runs from pet nutrition today into human supplements, functional food ingredients, farmer-grade oils, and industrial-safe biorefinery applications over the next several years, all inside a global omega-3 market north of $55 billion, and a pet supplement segment growing at roughly 7 to 8% annually towards $3 billion by the year 2030. A real pleasure. So,
Thank you.
I think I want to start out. So, tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about your origin story. I think it's really fascinating.
So, I spent a lot of my career in marketing for big pharma companies in Chicago. And that cured me and sent me on a path of alternative health and looking for alternative health solutions and understanding from very early on that we are what we eat. It matters what goes, our food choices, and bad choices over time, bad health outcomes. And later on, I was working in alternative energy consulting with algae, which fascinated me. And I watched the market for energy go upside down, looked for higher value opportunities. And I guess you could say that's how PhytoSmart, my company, was founded. In October, we merged with an algae company with a different but complementary technology platform, and that is Solana. And their CEO, Martin Sabarsky, who couldn't be here today, his platform is high volume at scale technology for algae growing. And he likewise watched the market for energy go upside down, watched a number of companies in his space fail, and decided the market wasn't ready. And when we met each other, it just made sense to merge the two companies that have complementary. PhytoSmart is a mid-scale, high-value nutritional production technology with Martin's ag-scale company. And I guess that's our origin story.
That's great. Just tell us a little more background about PhytoSmart and about what exactly the company does. I think that'd be very helpful.
So, unlike the rest of so if I said to you, how many people know what omega-3 fatty acids are? How many people know where they come from?
Less hands.
So, the thing that I hear every day is that fish are the source of omega-3 fatty acids, and that is wrong. So, and yet 80% of the market is fish oil. So mammals, fish, animal, and humans do not have the capability of manufacturing omega-3 fatty acids internally. It has to come from what we eat, from our food chain. So the difference between, fish through the food chain swim in the ocean, and they, through algae, get the algae that creates the omega-3 fatty acids in their body. But then they have to be caught, killed, and undergo a very harsh industrial process to strip out everything that nature made in the algae cells. and to only leave the fats, the lipids. And then they have to be reconcentrated and have synthetic additives in order to get to the products that you see on the shelves. We actually started out with the intent of extracting oil, and all of a sudden we said, what are we doing? We are taking what nature gave us and adulterating it. And so that was really the beginning of PhytoSmart starting on a quest for to create whole cell omega-3 fatty acids. In addition to the fats, we keep the proteins, the pigments, the carotenoids, and the enzymes that are part of the algae cell matrix that also help to protect it from the rapid oxidation that every extracted omega-3 oil is vulnerable to. And if I could tell anyone, fish oil is, you don't know by the time you get it how much of it has already been oxidized, can be toxic to whatever cell membranes it crosses in the body. And that's basically the difference between PhytoSmart and the rest of that $55 billion industry.
So that's your epiphany, and that's really your moat that makes you different, right? That's
exactly
from the other players out there. You talked about the merger is complete now. Now the merger is complete and integration is underway. What are the next major operational milestones for the combined production platform? And when does the merged technology stack start producing things that neither company could have produced alone on their own?
So the answer to the last question is it's already happened. PhytoSmart's indoor technology, that's mid-scale production of algae, has produced DHA, one of the ocean algae omega-3 fatty acids. Solana's technology produced EPA, the other ocean-based omega-3 fatty acids. We put them together and we are already on the market with a DHA EPA blend here. And our operational milestones will continue to integrate both technologies, platforms, and we will continue to optimize and we will continue to scale. PhytoSmart being a modular, having linear and modular scalability, so that we can answer everything from high-value nutritional products for pets and humans, human functional foods and beverages, and then ag-scale production for foods, feeds, and pharma products, and especially alternative proteins that are so gaining in demand that because people are looking for safer, healthier foods.
That's great. The core scientific claim that keeping omega-3 fatty acids inside the intact microalgae cell rather than extracting them as oil creates a fundamentally different product category. Again, getting back to your moat. Where does the research go from here to deepen that clinical evidence? And what does the validation roadmap look like for the next 18 to 24 months?
So we have lots of anecdotal evidence that whole cell outpaces extracted oil. It's the same thing when you're looking for when you're making your food choices. Do you want ultra processed or do you want whole cell? So that's the difference we offer. We have confirmatory bioavailability trials planned, but they cost money. And so a primary focus of our current raise will be to execute those trials. And that will give us a peer-reviewed defensible platform upon which to enter human nutrients and functional foods and beverages.
And we talked yesterday in the podcast about real food, and you had a fascinating example about real food in the 60s and all that. If you can sort of say that again, I think that's really fascinating.
So, for those of you who remember pre-1960s, everything was Betty Crocker made from scratch. Then we went to space and we took Tang with us. And after that, everything was processed and made for convenience. In the 25, 30 years between the 60s and the 90s, life expectancy started to go down in America. And it has not turned around since. It is because of our food system and because food is made to be, without getting into it, to be addictive, to have us want more of the same thing, and to be produced with the least expensive ingredients. And that does not spell well for our metabolic health, because we are what we eat.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Your go-to-market is phased. Pets first, as we talked about, as we see here, humans second. What moves your company from phase 1 into phase 2? What does that human launch look like? And what would trigger that transition from the pets to the humans? Because I definitely want to hear about the human stuff, because
I get asked every time I have a conversation, oh, do you have this for people too? I will tell you, we have many pet parents who share our product with their pets. The trigger, in answer to your question, from our phase 1 to phase 2, or will be pets to humans, and that will be when we get GRAS certification to be able to sell into the human market.
I believe you, I don't want to speak out of turn, but you also, you're also a user as well, that you have experience with it.
For 6 years, yes. And my doctor and I have pretty much nothing to say to each other. She's like, well, everything's perfect, because I know I am metabolically healthy, because omega-3 fatty acids are necessary in every inter and intracellular communication in the body. I know you're having someone talk to you about cognition, later this afternoon. The brain takes 4 milligrams of DHA to recycle on a daily basis to keep cognitively healthy. And again, it has to come from what we eat.
Great. I understand you have a phase 3 in your go-to-market plan after pets and after humans. What does that include?
So because we have married these two complementary technologies, PhytoSmart's mid-scale, high-value platform premium brand, and Solana's high-volume ag-scale industrial, that will be our phase 3 when the market conditions are right, and when to bring out ag-scale online. And by then, PhytoSmart will be a successful enough brand. We expect to be able to self-fund Solana's ag-scale operation.
That's great. Is there anything else you expect to impact growth in addition to what we already discussed?
Yes, we actually have a bigger revenue story, and that will be to alter our product mix to include B2B ingredients. We are in discussions now with a number of pet companies to use our product as an ingredient in what they manufacture. And we are also laying the groundwork for human functional foods and beverages as well. In fact, we have a signed LOI with a human food producer that is distributed nationally and wants to use our product in all of their product offerings as soon as we are certified. to sell to humans.
That's very exciting. So I know you briefly talked about this, but are you currently raising to support this growth, and how much is the raise, and what will the money go towards? What is your use of capital of that money?
Yes, we are. And we are raising $7 million, and that single million digit amount will go toward further establishing the PhytoSmart pet brand in the market, further building the infrastructure for human. I should tell you that our human line, once we are GRAS certified, will be able to be introduced within weeks, not months, because we are building that infrastructure now. And we will expand our scale up and continue to optimize. And that will be, and of course, GRAS certification, those will be the major uses of funds for our raise.
Did you say you'll be sort of self-sustaining after this raise? Do you hope to that?
Expect to be, yes. And in about hopefully 3 to 5 years, we expect to have a market, depending on the market conditions, a potential IPO, and that will fund our ag-scale industrial operation.
Excellent. Talking about the financial model and the IPO. So your financial model projects margin expansion from the low 30s to 60% gross margin over a 4-year window, and a total addressable market 4 to 5 times your current pet segment. What structural changes in production, product mix, and channel strategy drive that margin curve, and what's the operating leverage that makes all of that possible?
So we will further our margin improvement story by continuing to optimize and scale. And our platform, we call it our SPAGS platform for PhytoSmart's mid-scale, is quite a departure from how these type of algae are traditionally grown in the market. In 100 to 200,000 gallon stainless fermenters at a capex of $200 to $300 million. We grow in what I like to call a series of 500-liter, highly engineered plastic bag bioreactors. We hold them up in caging. We're not beautiful, but we're scrappy. And we're highly, highly capital efficient. We can expand without a huge influx of additional capital, and we are not dependent on future raises to scale. And as we continue to source and gain efficiencies in supply sourcing and in optimizing our yield, and we alter our product mix by adding that B2B component, our margins will naturally increase. In our current facility, we can scale 50 times before we have to relocate, and we will reach our improved margins long before we have to move.
Excellent. For the allocators and family offices in our audience who are evaluating this space for the possibly the first time, what is the single most important thing happening in algae biotechnology right now that makes this sector investable in a way it was not, let's say, 5 years ago?
So algae crops, I want to talk a little bit, because this is important and this feeds right into this question. The difference between growing an algae farm crop and a traditional land or ocean crop. Number one, we have reached peak fish 30 years ago. We are taking more fish out of the ocean than the ocean can comfortably produce. And the latest thing in the industry is sustainable krill. Okay, great. What happens to the whales ecosystem when we start over-harvesting krill? Algae grows not with arable land and with salt water, and a byproduct of algae production is O2, which helps to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. Let's take beef. With the 10 billion people that are expected to make up our global population in the next 30 years, by mid-century, their beef takes a long time to produce a crop, lots of arable land, lots of fresh water, and 10 pounds of feed for every pound of beef produced. How long, and a byproduct of which is CO2, not O2, which increases greenhouse gas emissions. How long can we stay loyal to these traditional crops? The three factors that make this very much investable now is resource exhaustion that I just discussed, technology maturation. 5 years ago, algae farming, algae growing was an R&D project, but there have been advances in the last 5 years of production, processing, and that we can now grow consistently quality crops. And the third thing is, and maybe the most important, is consumer demand. Because of the quest to be healthy, to consider our longevity, to make healthier food choices of wholesale in favor of ultra-processed foods. People are demanding sustainable, complete, non-GMO.org certifiable alternatives in their foods. And that's what PhytoSmart and Solana's technology platforms can offer. So 5 years ago, the question was, would algae biotechnology work? Now, the question is, who's going to get there first? And PhytoSmart and Solana are there. We have developed platforms to meet consumer demand at every scale.
Great. Hold on.
Maybe a question or two?
Yeah, any question from the audience? We have one more question, but are there any questions from the audience?
Or closing statements?
Yeah. Yeah. So is there anything, I guess my closing statement, is there anything more there's a question here.
Can you say what you feel the valuation of the company is now?
I would rather not.
She'll be at dinner.
Yes.
You can discuss it there.
Yeah.
Maybe a closing statement.
So we are leading, just like the revolution to green farming in the 60s and 70s and regenerative farming. We can no longer rely on traditional land and ocean crops. And there's got to be a more sustainable means in our future that will help that will be a great idea and help to repair the world and help from the last 30, 40 years when we've done our best to, chase convenience, processing, and profits.
And this is the human, right? So
that is.
I can't wait to hear more about this as well. So I'm not a pet, but I can hear more about the human.
It will be the same product of our pet product because we have You can look up on our website, phytosmart.com. I'm happy to make sure our deck is distributed to anyone that asks. And I do apologize. I just realized that I have not been close enough to the mic. And I apologize. I'm happy to get together with any of you to answer questions when you can hear me. So please look our website up and understand how we are going to change how people view nutrition, and specifically omega-3 nutrition, and why you'll never pick up a bottle of fish oil again.
Fantastic. Great.